It's hard to believe that my best friend was born in 1949 and I was born in 1995. But that's my story. Commander Sergeant Major John Wayne Brown, or my granddaddy, who I like to call Papa, has been my best friend, my granddaddy, and my mentor. But he's not only been my mentor, he's been a mentor for many young men and women since he joined the Army in November of 1966. He has continued service in the National Guard, South Carolina Guard, Air Force, and Army, Active Army, for 42 years, where he has been given the opportunity to influence many young men and women through his years. After only being in the Army for 1 year, he was sent to Vietnam in 1967 as an air gunner and crew chief in the air and a maintenance for helicopters on the land. After spending a year in Vietnam, he was quickly sent to Kuwait for 6 months. He always describes this experience as consisting of sandstorms, sand dunes, sand roads, sand smell, sand taste, but most importantly, sand. He always says that this picture describes Kuwait perfectly because it is the view from the east, north, south, and west side. He also said for 6 months he drove in the sand and there was sand on every side of him. They said the only time that they would ever get out of the vehicle normally was when they would stop, pull out a lounge chair and eat, and then they would pack back up and keep moving. He also, while in Kuwait, took out many armories and facilities. After Kuwait, things were pretty quiet until the tragedy on 9/11/2001, where the Twin Towers were taken down in an act of terrorism. After this act of terrorism, my granddad was sent to Iraq from 2004 to 2005, where he was awarded many honors and medals for his courageous acts, one being his taking over of one of the palaces of Saddam Hussein. After this, he also was the battalion commander, sergeant major, over the attack of and destroying of the bridge, which left Saddam Hussein captured and trapped. He gained over 35 honors, medals, and awards, which I will not mention all at this time, but will announce many of the important awards, such as the 6th Award Air Medal, which is the highest medal offered in the Air Force. He also received 3 Bronze Stars, which were relative to many of his different places, such as Kuwait, Vietnam, and Iraq, and many different job searches. He also gained the St. Michael Bronze Award for his acts in the air aviation and task force. He also received the Army Commendation Medal, which is a highly regarded medal. After all this, he was finally inducted into the Army National Guard Hall of Fame. That is not the most important thing to me, though. The most important thing is what he did at home. When I was 6 years old, my parents were divorced, causing my mother to take the major privilege of raising me and my brother solely off of her income. This is very hard for her, so my grandparents, my papa and grandma, helped us. When I was young, I did not understand why my dad would leave me and not help someone that I thought loved me and took care of me. So I went to my granddaddy, the person that I always knew would help me figure out everything and always have the right words to say. And he told me that a dad's not the person who brings you into this world, but a person who takes care of you, who shelters you and protects you. And that's why that boy, born in 1949, is my best friend and always will be.